everyone, I'm Carla from Carla Arlene Creations, and I am going to show you how I designed and created a fake bake cake for Gryffindor. There is one part of this cake that I cannot show you because it is not my design, but I will put a link into the YouTube video that I watched to create the top of the cake. I hope you have fun watching this. First of all, I'm using a smooth foam number 8 cake foam that I got at Hobby Lobby. It's 4 inches by 7.8 inches. So I'm gonna use this one, and I'm going to make the outside of the cake that goes around red. Because for the project I'm working on, it's for someone who likes Gryffindor, and I wanted to make it the Gryffindor theme. So I'm using some air dry clay that I got from the Primitive Pumpkin. This is cherry colored, and I'm going to condition my clay and then roll it out. So I'm rolling this out. As I want it to be as wide as this, but I want it to go the whole way around. I'm just trying to see if it's long enough, and it's not yet. I think I need to add a little bit more clay, so I'm going to roll this back up and add in some more clay. Condition it some more. I'm just going to turn it over and continue making it longer so that it'll go the whole way around my cake form. Okay, we're going to try to put this around my cake form. table. And then I'm going to okay, so it will go the whole way around. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put some tacky glue on my styrofoam round so that the clay will stick to it. So I'm going to pick this back up gently, and before my round glues to my table, I'm going to put the clay around it. And we want to cut this off about here. If I have to, I can always piece pieces together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some more tacky glue on here. And then glue this over. I'll have to smooth out some of my siding. And this is such a long piece. And I need to cut off some of this edging. And next I'm going to work on smoothing out a little bit of my wrinkles that I ended up with. So we're going to set that aside and let that air dry a little bit. And I'm going to get out some yellow air dry clay.
I have a variety of edging to go down over your cake to make it kind of funky looking, like drips. And I'm going to make the top of the cake with lemon yellow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this lemon yellow air dry clay, and I'm going to condition it and then roll it out because I want it the same size as the top of my cake, plus a little on the edging. I'm going to condition my clay. What I'm doing is making sure that the yellow circle I'm going to cut out is the same size as my foam piece. I'm going to pick this up carefully. I'm going to roll it out just a little bit, just to smooth it out. And we're going to put some glue on the top of our cake. And then I'm going to lay this on top very gently. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to roll out some more of the yellow, and we're going to put drips around the side. We'll use the white one. And what I have is a pan of water with some detergent in it. And I'm just going to get the cutter a little wet, and then I'm going to cut out my first piece of drip. Then we're going to take off part of the top of this because I don't want that thick of a top on it. And then gently take it off of your surface, and I'm just going to go around and make the edging a little more smooth. And I'm just going to lay this over here for the moment, and then I'm going to cut out another piece. And I'm just going to smooth the edging on this one. I'm actually going to grab one of my clay tools to help with smoothing out the edging. Let's see if this will work. Now, as you can see, I did smooth out the edging. I'm just going to let this one also dry. Probably need a couple more of these to get the whole way around. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to start gluing our edging on so that we can figure out how much we need. So I'm just going to put some glue up here. And take the first piece, and we're going to line it up with the top as best as possible. And we're going to roll this around and put some more glue. this piece on. And we're going to add glue here. And I think probably about one, maybe 1.5 more pieces of this we're going to need for the edging. I'm just trying to pull out where the cookie cutter didn't quite get the in-between pieces out. And then we're going to take our tool and smooth our little, as you can see, our little edges are a little rough. So we're just going to take this and go around and smooth them out. And as you can see, we're smoothed out some more. Then we're going to put some glue on here. And as you can see, we don't need a full piece here, so we're going to just do a partial. And let's see here. How big do we need? About there. So I'm going to say until that drip. So this piece we're going to get rid of. And this one we're going to fix the edging on it. That part with using water and dish detergent, your clay gets a little sticky. So it starts sticking to you and everything else. Okay, I'm going to add some glue here, and hopefully this will finish off our edging. And as you can see, we have edging the whole way around. And we're going to let this dry for a while. Okay, since our clay is drying, I'm going to go ahead and glue our cake onto our bottom piece. And I'm just going to center it on here so that you can see the stars for the most part on the, as you can see, on the paper. I'm going to set that aside. And next we're going to work on the top piece of our cake. And for it, I'm using these rounds I got at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to hot glue them together. So once we have those glued together, I'm going to take a dowel rod and I'm going to stick it down through the center. This way I can hold on to this while I'm putting the spackling on it. So I got some spackling here. I'm going to add some white paint into it because I want the top of my cake white. And I'm going to mix this together. Now we're going to take some spackling. We're going to hold on to this and we're going to frost our cake here. Now once I have spackling the whole way around our cake sides, I'm going to start smoothing it out. I'm going to see if I can make it a little smoother around the sides. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but I'm going to try. Oops. Did not want that to happen, but it did. Okay, so we're going to smooth this out. And I think our cake looks pretty good. And I'm going to take a piece of the dowel rod. Let's see here. I'm going to try and cut this. That's what I want to do. And let's take some hot glue. Well, let's let that heat up a little bit. I'm going to put some hot glue at the bottom of the stick so that the stick is stuck. And I'm going to take this. I'm waiting for my hot glue. And I'm going to see. I think that's what the center is going to be. Made a little bit of a hole in the top of our cake so that I can take this and press it down in. Okay. So since our glue is hot, like I said, put some glue up here. Just to glue that dowel rod in. And then we're going to take this. We're going to push this down into our cake. There. So now that our cake is on top, I can go ahead and ice this. And now we're going to let this dry, and then we'll decorate it some more. Next, I'm going to make a lightning bolt to go on the cake. Just going to use some of the lemon yellow air dry clay. As you can see, the spackling all dried from yesterday. So now we can add to the top of the cake. So I'm just going to roll this out. Don't want it too thin. And then I got a lightning bolt cookie cutter off of Amazon. And I'm just going to cut out a lightning bolt. I'm just going to gently remove this from the cookie cutter. And there is our lightning bolt. And we're going to put it on the back of the cake. So in order to get it to stick, I'm going to use some tacky glue. And I'm just going to put some tacky glue on the back of the lightning bolt. And then I'm going to pick this up. And just gently tap it onto our cake like that. Since we put that on the back of our cake, I am going to add to the front of our cake the foam letters I cut out of black glitter foam board. And I'm going to use some hot glue. Even though these are tacky, I still want to use some hot glue to make sure they're glued onto the cake. So I'm just putting some hot glue on the lettering. Try not to burn my fingers. And the lightning bolt's back there, so we're gonna add the H on there like that. And then we're going to add the P on there. So then it says HP for Harry Potter. So there is the front of our cake. And then the lightning bolt is on the back. And I'm going to add some edging around the bottom of the cake so that it more goes into one layer to the other. And I'm going to do that with some, I believe some red foam clay. I think that would look fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a paper towel and some baby oil. And I'm going to put some baby oil on my paper towel. And then I'm going to take this and run it through my mold that I have for cake edging. This way the clay doesn't stick in the mold. And I'm going to take some of this cherry clay. And I'm going to work it so that I can put it in the mold and make my edging. And what I like to do is just take a little bit of the clay and kind of make it into a snake and then put it down in my mold. I'm just going to take the excess off. And then you can peel this out very carefully. And there is our first piece of edging. And I'm just going to lay that aside and do my next piece. let's see here. So we're going to start with the front, and I'm just going to put the edging around like that. So what I'm going to do is put some tacky glue on. And then I'm going to lay this around. And then I'm going to add some more tacky glue. And just try to make sure you butt your pieces up. And I need a little bit more glue for this one. And we're just going to move this piece over like so. And actually 3 is all I needed, so we did pretty good on that. And I'm going to add some decorations into this. I'm going to work on making a wand for my Harry Potter cake. I'm going to use black clay, and that's only because Harry's wand was dark, and that's the one I want to make. And I'm just conditioning my clay. And I'm going to roll it out. I don't want to make a big wand because I'm putting it on the side of my cake, like here. So I want it to be a smaller wand, just so it will fit. I'm just making this to make it like a little piece. Like where the piece of the wand you hold and the wand to separate them. And as you can see, there's our wand. I'm going to let it dry, and then I will glue it onto the cake. Okay, I'm adding some half macaroon shapes to the side of my cake. In order to do that, I am taking some baby oil and putting in my macaroon mold. And I'm going to add 6 of these to the cake, so I just need a couple more made. And we're going to take some of my cream air dry clay. I'm going to condition it. And I'm going to roll it in a ball, kind of, and then I'm going to flatten it in here. It looks like I need some more, so I'm going to do that for the second one. As you can see, and I can just go ahead and pop them out and let them dry. I do have a couple that I did start to paint, so I'm going to add some more gold paint to them. As you can see, you just keep coating them with the gold paint until you get them the color of gold that you want.
And then as you can see, these ones are already the color gold that I'm wanting. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to take my cake, and as you can see, my wand already stuck to the cake, so I don't have to glue that on. But I'm going to take a toothpick and I'm going to put it in the back of this. I'm going to cut it off about halfway so I can use the toothpick for two macaroons. And I'm going to take some of my tacky glue and I'm going to put some glue on the back of this macaroon. And I'm actually going to put this in the center of the front of my cake, and then I'm going to, like that. And I'm going to place one in the back. Maybe I'll just use 4. I'm going to put 2 here, and that way I'll have, or maybe I'll put, actually what I'm going to do is put 1 here and 1 here, and do the same on this side, and then my cake will be done. I just thought it'd be nice to add some gold candy or cookies to the sides of the cake. Now I can't show you how I made Dobby because it was a YouTube video that somebody else did and I followed their video, but I can put the link in the comments below, so if you want to make a Dobby for your cake, you can. But as soon as the rest of the macaroons dry, I will be adding them to the cake, and then the cake will be done. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how I designed and created the Gryffindor cake. Don't forget to watch the video on how to cut craft foam with your Cricut, as that went into this cake piece too. Also, there is a video on how I designed the floral part of the centerpiece and also the golden snitches that were put into the centerpiece. So I hope you enjoyed this project and it gives you some ideas of how to create your own.